So,
let's talk, sis. I got some tea for y'all.
So the dating scene isn't what
It used to be. Well,
so we're gonna first
What?
spill the tea, baby.
All right,
Spill
baby.
tea.
Talk to me, baby.
Ask. Oh my god. Important, as in both women and men. I feel like.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
The dating scene just isn't what it used to be. From the fun, carefree, and the chance of finding the one, dating today has turned into a bubble of confusion, using each other, and nearly impossible to trust one another. And both men and women are to blame with the way we date today. So we will talk about why men are so distant in relationships, advice, and one of the most common questions us women ask ourselves. Okay guys, so this is Summer.
Hi.
She is one of my really good friends, and she is one of the most sweetest and supportive friends that I have. And I have her here to tag along on my Tea Talk Tuesday because I think she will be a great fit with what we're going to talk about today. Since I have been in my relationship for 7 years, I feel like she will probably have a little bit more experience with dating. But she finally actually just settled down. She found the one.
I did!
So we will definitely talk about it, and I will have her give us some little tools and opinions so we can basically gather all the information that we need to help us out.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's start with one of the few reasons men are distant in their relationships. The number one is fear of rejection. Ouch. So I find it I feel like men find it more difficult to get involved in a relationship is because of fear of rejection. It could be getting to know somebody, walking up to somebody, a woman, and then all of a sudden, without even giving the chance to introduce themselves, they get rejected.
Yeah. Access denied.
Yes. No, we're okay.
Which may be funny to us girls, like, oh, you just tried to get at me,
Right.
but to a guy's actual ego, it could be pretty
Right.
dangerous.
Yeah, because then it just doesn't give them another opportunity into
They don't know
trying.
what they did wrong. You know, they're wondering, oh my gosh, what is it about me? Does she not like the way that I look? Does she not like the way that I dress? Was my approach wrong? What did I do wrong? And men are very over analytical on themselves like that at times. So,
Right. Or it could be even if somebody in the past that they really fell for, someone that they really, looked into pursuing into something more out there, settling down, and then they get rejected. So
yeah.
I agree that does make sense, that one of the reasons will be in rejection. Okay, so the next one, why men are so distant in relationships, is already committed.
Ooh.
That one, okay,
Sip
this
tea.
one's huge. Yeah. Sip some tea. Okay, this is huge. Men who have commitment issues in one relationship may have already committed themselves to someone else. If men are having problems with letting go of the past relationships, it makes it nearly impossible for them to commit to someone else.
Agreed.
I think this is,
This is deep, y'all. And this is going to take some legitimate honesty
Yes.
on your behalf and say, hey, what is it that I'm doing? Who do I want to be with? What do I want in life? And what do I want to pursue?
But sometimes it's really hard for men to even let us know that, I feel like. So I think this just goes along to men out there. You need to let us know
and search the
and
depths of your heart.
Yeah, and maybe once you find out that, let's say your significant other tells you, I'm not over my past, I'm committed to my past still, but I don't want to be there no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not healthy for me. It's
Right.
whatever the situation was that had happened in the past, and it's not good for them to be there, and they want to try to move on. So I think now that's when we come into play, is helping them.
Yes.
Right?
Love. It's all part of self-love, really.
Right.
Loving yourself enough to say, hey, you know what? I see that you are not where you want to be, and I'm going to walk in love with you and give you the support and the guidance that you need to transition healthily in your life, and then I will do the same.
Right. And then hopefully at the end there's a conclusion of either he wants to stay in the past or he just wants to go along with you.
Yeah.
So I think it just all comes down to that. The next one. He values more of his independence.
Okay.
A relationship requires time, dedication, and effort. It can also take away from some of the things he currently enjoys. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I can agree on that.
It does.
Being in a relationship is like a full-time job.
It is.
So
Relationships require a lot of time and patience, but one thing I really want to touch on is sacrifice.
right.
Sacrifice is important. When you have to put the needs of another person before yourself, sometimes it's difficult. Yeah, or even a change, or even admitting that you're wrong, or hey, I messed up, I'm sorry. That takes grace, that takes forgiveness, that takes understanding on both parties. So if you're not ready for the heat, baby, stay out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? But seriously.
But yeah, that's true. A lot of guys like their own space, right? That's when it comes into play, when, oh, give me my space. Yeah, because they're used to the way where they put their keys, where they put their shoes, what they do on a daily, and they don't have to think about surrounding dependence into someone else. So they just love their time and their space, I feel like. So that makes sense. The next one.
Oh, kill me.
He is not as into you as you thought.
Darn.
Okay, this one hurts. I mean, I know I've been in a relationship for so long, but I know what this is. I know how this feels.
It sucks.
And this might be hard to hear, but men are horrible when it comes to communicating their true feelings. Can I get an amen?
Sometimes men, for our men watchers, some of you out there really on it. You know, y'all are really working hard. Shout out to my baby. Killing the game with the communication, baby.
Yes.
I see you.
Yes, the guys out there that are definitely taking their time to do.
Yes.
But for those that don't, I mean, they can talk to you, flirt, and hang out with you, but rather than making it clear that they don't want to pursue things further, they just distance themselves and hope that you reach that conclusion yourself. Shame on you.
Not cool. Not cool at all.
This is where we need to find red flags, right? And maybe because they don't see our emotions like they don't see how sensitive things can be.
Right.
But if somebody's talking to me, hanging out with me, flirting with me, and giving me those signals, they need to understand. I mean, we have feelings too, even if they don't feel like that. So when a man distances themselves with you, even after hanging out or going on dates or flirting with you, or always texting you, just always make sure you have, that plan B in the back of your head. Because if he turns his back on you, just know that you are still a great person. We have our values, and
you deserve the best. And if one door closes, another one always opens. It's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the self-love. It's realizing that not everything is for you, but understanding that the things that are for you will never miss you. They'll always find their way back to you.
I agree. Okay, so next one. They don't see the respect or challenge in a woman.
Okay.
There is a saying, once sex got easier to get, love got harder to find. This may be true to an extent, but it can be very important as well in both women and men.
Absolutely.
So what do you think does that necessarily mean?
I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. I believe that whatever you put out into the atmosphere, into the universe, or however, whatever that means to you, is whatever you reap is what you sow. So if you put out, factors of lack of self-love or lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of, personal morals and ethics that guide your life, you'll begin to attract the wrong kind of energy, the wrong things, the wrong people, just things that you really don't want in your life that are going to contribute to your ultimate best self and self-growth. So
I agree.
that's important.
Yeah. And maybe give a challenge to, men too. It's the challenge is good. If it's there, it's attracting, number one.
Right.
But then also I feel like, men need to appreciate who we are, even not just inside but also outside.
Absolutely.
So appearance.
Yeah.
We don't need to go out there and disrespect our bodies and have to, when we get ready before we go out, and
Right.
pop our boobs out just for, maybe show our butt on the side,
Mm-hmm.
just to get some attention. And I think that's just more of the sad part.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah, one thing that I want to touch on, because I know there's some ladies who will be watching this and say hey, I like to dress a certain way. And it's not even about that. It's really, what's the motive behind why you dress the way that you dress?
Correct.
What is the intention?
Yeah.
Do you dress like that genuinely because you love to dress like that? Because it makes you feel comfortable?
Yes.
Then that's one thing. But do you feel as if you have to dress that way in order to attract the attention from males or other people?
So maybe just ask yourself that.
And search really deep down and be like, why do I do what I do? What is the reason behind why I feel like I have to wake up every morning and look this way? You'd be surprised what you find when you really take the time out to get to know yourself.
Yeah. So be yourself and stay committed to your values. Understand that you don't need a man in order to be the best version of yourself. We all look at love as though it will save us, when sometimes we just need to save ourselves. Finding what makes you happy, which means that you need to know how to be happy alone.
Right.
And that's probably really important, because I see a lot of people even back-to-back relationships because they just can't be alone. Right. You need to find your happiness. And I think that is finding your happiness yourself.
Right. Really searching out deep down, hey, what is it that I love? What makes me happy? Because when we go from one relationship to another, we don't understand that that person takes a part of us, and another person takes a part of us, and then another part, and then another part, and then before you know it, you look down at yourself and you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
What do I have to offer? But what's most important here is loving yourself, because you can never love someone else until you fully love yourself.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, refill up your cups, because we're gonna have to sit through these next questions.
Piping hot.
We will answer in our opinions and what we think. And so let's begin. So the first question: after how many dates should a woman start paying the tab?
All right.
Now, we're obviously used to, if a guy approaches you and takes you out on a date, it's like you kind of assume that he's treating you,
taking the initiative to take care of you. Yeah.
And then the next date, it's again, I feel like it would be his treat again too, because I don't know.
You know what's crazy is I've never had someone just hey, can I take you on these multiple dates back to back? I think I'm so much more of I'm a person that just kind of hey, yeah, let's go half. You know, like, I think so, as long as I can remember with my relationship with Roger, we have always gone half on stuff. Or one day,
Me
well,
too.
well, and
Me
that's
too.
where communication comes into play. Because you're like, all right, cool. You'll do lunch today. I'll cover dinner tomorrow. Or
Now,
oh,
are
you'll
you
get
saying
service.
this? Sorry to interrupt you, but are you saying this now, or do you remember of like when you guys first started dating? Because I can remember
You know
our
what?
couple first dates with me and Tosh. I think he was paying, but I'm a believer in this split too.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
For sure. No, I remember Roger definitely was paying
Okay.
a lot in the beginning, and I was just like, hey, you know, just so that you know, in order to hang out with me, you won't have to always pay all the time.
Right.
We can definitely split the tab, go half, you know, and it's all about sharing the load, sharing the responsibility.
Or maybe just taking out your card at the same time
Mm-hmm.
and just saying, no, don't worry. Like, let me add some from me too.
Yes. Come on, ladies.
Right?
You know you work hard for them dollars too.
Like, I think it'll be nice. It will probably make the
man feel, okay, well, she values this time just as much as I do because she's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
So,
Yeah.
I would say maybe a few dates in, it
Yeah.
would be okay to just say, hey, no, let me treat you
Mhm,
too, or
mhm.
something like
Absolutely.
that. I agree. Okay, so next one. Ooh. Would you date a man who has kids, or is it a deal breaker?
Not, baby. Cable, baby, don't burn
God, especially in our generation. I
It's
mean,
almost inevitable.
I think everybody that I know has kids and stuff,
Yeah, same.
and I don't know. I kind of feel like I would because first of all men change after they have kids and they become a father.
Right.
So responsibility, love, and a bunch of stuff kicks in that I think it's really cute. And I'm no one to replace their mom, right?
Yes.
That's important.
Absolutely.
I think
There's a respect thing there and boundary thing as well.
I know.
Absolutely. I think for me, I love kids. As
Me
For
too.
many of you know,
Yeah, me
I've been
too.
working with kids as my profession since I was 17 years old. So for me, I genuinely love being around kids. I've never dated a man with kids.
Me neither.
So it's hard to say, but I probably would.
I think it would be fine to give a chance. I mean, it just depends also how young they are, because that's a full responsibility.
Right.
You know, you don't want to put that image, especially on probably the ex. You don't. She's probably going through a lot.
Mhm.
You never know, and then all of a sudden he's jumping into a relationship,
Right.
another woman that's
Mhm.
going to be a part of the kids, and so
Right.
it's a delicate situation. I feel like so it also depends how young they
How
are.
young, what the communication is like between the child's mother
Is he
and the
living with
father.
them?
Are
Yeah.
they co-parenting? How
Right.
healthy is that co-parenting? Do they
Right.
live together? Because
she-
that is a
I know, yeah, that's
No.
a deal breaker.
That's a deal
That's
breaker.
a deal breaker.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Done.
that ain't it, Chief. I'm not doing it.
No. So, let's see. What kind of questions would you like to be asked on a first date?
Ooh. Now. Hey, you want to go? You want me to go?
Go.
I hate small talk, guys. Like, if you want to get to know me, let's get deep. Like, let's be vulnerable. Like, let's talk about things that actually matter and that you're probably gonna remember.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to ask men, and I like men to ask me, what are your passions in life?
Yes.
What is it that what has happened to you that has made you want to do what you're doing right now?
Right.
Or
What is your plan?
yeah, what are your goals in life?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you doing now? It shows the importance of he's getting involved with and concerned with what am I doing? What plans do I have?
Right.
Family.
Mm-hmm.
Asking about family. I think that's
Yes.
also really nice.
Right. Being family oriented.
Yeah.
Seeing where I come from culturally.
Right.
Oh, you're from here? Oh, I'd love
Differences.
to try that type of food. Or do you practice the culture?
Yeah.
Even if some of us, how we identify spiritually. What are your beliefs spiritually? How do you feel about that? How does that contribute to your life?
Yes.
Those are all very good
Those are
questions.
good ones. Let's see. What are a few things you first noticed physically about men, but never admit to? Probably their teeth.
Oh, yeah. Teeth, and I don't know why. I love eyebrows.
Eyebrows
Eyebrows are dope, right?
Eyebrows
They're
are dope.
cool.
Yeah, and you don't have
Eyebrows,
to. Yeah.
hair, eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
Physically.
and you know, do they take care of themselves?
Their body and stuff, probably.
Are they in shape? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
When it comes to dating, how old is too old for you?
I'm gonna be honest, look. Everyone that I've ever dated has been maybe a year older than me or the same age.
Okay.
But I feel like if you have a desire to date older than you, do you? Because
Right.
I understand that some of us have gone through things in life that have caused us to mature a little bit
Yeah.
at a more rapid pace than others, and sometimes you feel like you can connect more with someone who is older because they can understand your struggles in your life.
So what is too old then?
Girl, I'm gonna cut it off at
I mean, how old are you?
I'm 25.
I'm 25. Okay, I'm 25 too, so.
I'm gonna say 31, 32.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think I would take it any farther.
Probably not.
We're still young, I
Yeah.
feel like, so.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Ooh. Oh no. If a man has a cheating history, would you still give him a chance? Oh my gosh.
This
This is tricky.
is getting hot once again, baby. Well, you know,
This is a tough one.
yeah. On one hand, I do believe people change,
Yes.
but track record is big too because we are human beings of habit, right?
Right.
So if we habitually make the same decisions over and over and over without consciously changing up the cycle, you might get cheated on too.
Right. I think you're just putting yourself at risk. But also ask yourself, let's say he does have a cheating history and you never knew.
Right.
You gave him a chance still.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference of knowing the history? I mean, I just think everyone deserves a chance.
Right.
But
And if they just continue to like blow it, like if
Right.
something happens, at that point, it's up to you whether or not you want to say, okay, I forgive you, we can stick this out, or say, you know what, I don't personally think I can move on from this. I would prefer to respectfully walk away. That's all your prerogative also.
I'm so sensitive. I wouldn't be able to deal.
Yeah, that hurts.
It hurts. It's just so hurtful. I do believe in second chances, but it's so...
It's
my
really
God.
hard to move on from that.
It's so hard.
It requires a lot of trust, a lot of communication, and sometimes those can be the hardest things
Yeah.
to
To
build
rebuild.
back up.
Oh my
God.
It's like starting all over again. It's not.
Exactly.
So, no, I think that giving it a chance, just because someone has a cheating history, no matter what, we're putting ourselves at risk
Right.
getting into a relationship regardless. Either we're
Right.
going to get cheated on or not.
You're still gonna get hurt.
you just
in
have
some
to
way.
hope for the best. And because then again, it's like going back to judging. And
Yeah.
so
We don't want to
you
judge.
don't want to judge. Let's see. Would you get with a guy that has a girl best friend?
Oh, baby. Baby. Girl, this
man.
is TikTok for you for sure. Well, let me go on by answering this one first.
Okay, go ahead. Please do.
I have dated someone in the past who had a girl best friend.
Oh,
And
okay.
they told me it was their best friend, and then my best friend was a little more than a friend.
No.
And yeah, not good boundaries. I mean, who am I to say, oh yeah, you can't have a girl best friend,
Right.
best friend?
That's why I'm just like,
But I want to know the context. Are you attracted to your best friend?
Right.
Do you have any sexual history with your best friend? Really though, why is she your best friend? Or are you the cool one, like, oh, she's just my best friend, but she's the one like, oh, I just love you, I just want to be with you, but hey, bestie, because baby, that will show real quick.
Honestly, no. Yes.
Yeah, she's like, it's done, chief. Nope.
Yeah, and it sucks because you just don't want to be the one to sit there and say you can't have a best friend.
Right, because that
A girl
sounds
best friend.
jealous and
It's
crazy.
so horrible. I don't even want to. I refuse to get myself to that
Right.
level.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of like, I think it's okay, but there's just boundaries. I feel like.
Thank you.
Sometimes being a best friend, even as a woman, we are scandalous. We have the energy. We like to be over friendly. We love to call all the time. Because it's our best friend, right? Not like a dude on dude, and they're just like, hey bro, what's up? Okay, you're with your girl. All right, let's catch up. Bye.
It's just so
But us, we're like,
different.
hey, best friend, I miss you so much. It's been so long. Let's hang out. And it's kind of like,
okay, sis.
like him and me are the ones that are building our relationship, are always going to be together,
Absolutely.
are always hanging out our time. And so there just has to be boundaries.
It depends on the context of the
It does.
relationship, guys.
And
I know.
she also has to respect the fact, does she respect
Ooh, 'cause
that
is
we are
the-
in a relationship?
Right.
Because, yeah, that's okay, have your best friend,
But,
but
me.
does she respect
us.
me and us?
Yeah.
Exactly. What
Yeah.
if it's
11 o'clock at night and she's calling you, bestie, I need you to come over.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
come pick me up, I'm drunk, it's just kind of like,
It just doesn't sit well.
it doesn't.
No.
It's just disrespectful.
Totally.
Let's see. You want to pick one?
Sure. Ooh. Okay, I think this is a really big one because our generation has really changed up a lot when it comes to the way we date. This one is, what's the best way to start dating again after a long relationship?
That's good.
I think that the best thing to do is to always take it slow and to really ask yourself, hey, how do I feel about this person? Do I really see myself dating this person long term? And if so, there is nothing wrong with moving slow because all good things take time. And you're not going to get to know someone right away. You're not, it's all a process and it's all a journey. So I would definitely
say take it slow.
Definitely
Yeah.
take it slow.
I know for a fact, like when I got from my past relationship, I got out was 4 years.
Wow.
You know, I did take it slow. I think it was like a full year. But keep in mind, the person that I met, which I'm with now, it was just a friend connection. I mean, it was, so it wasn't like I went out there looking. It was
just
something
came.
that came across. And I think that would probably be one of the most, like one of the advice that I would give.
Absolutely.
Is take time and
Take
don't
it
look.
slow. Yes.
Don't force yourself into something just because.
And here's another thing, ladies. If you like to be in long-term relationships, or guys, don't ever feel that if you see some red flags or some things you genuinely don't like about that person you're dating, you are not obligated to stay.
Yeah.
Okay? If you see things that you don't like, respectfully move on. You know what I mean? Continue to do you, continue to work on you.
Again, this
love on
goes back
yourself,
to finding your own happiness.
and
Finding
self-love.
yourself.
Yes.
Knowing who you are, be yourself. You don't need to be anybody for anybody.
Absolutely.
There's so many. I thought from my last relationship, I was like, this is it. I am like not finding anybody else. This is it. I'm done. Everyone's the same.
Boom.
And I'm sure you thought the same way.
I did.
mean,
I was like, I'm over this.
How long you've been with Roger?
I've been with Roger now 1 year and 1 month.
And before that, it was like
A year, almost like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So I'm sure you were fishing, or came across probably a lot. And
Yeah, definitely. There were things that I was genuinely pretty unhappy about with that relationship. And
Did you kind of give up in a way?
I did.
You did.
I did, and I think that we owe it to ourselves enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm really genuinely not happy. It has nothing to do with you. It's mainly this is something within myself, and I just need to walk in a different direction.
Yeah,
For sure.
go ahead.
And ooh, this is a big one. Ooh, all right. I'm not looking to commit right now. What does that mean?
I hate
Ladies?
that, honestly. I mean, I've heard it even
Yo,
like from friends
same.
and like my sister or just
Yeah.
men just
And
love that.
here's the thing, guys.
sentence.
That sentence is a cop-out to me. If you
I
don't
agree.
want to build
Yeah.
or be in a relationship, ladies, that's all what that basically means. I'm looking to have some fun.
Yeah.
Or men, I'm looking to have some fun, but I'm genuinely not at a place right now where I'm emotionally available to give you the time, the energy, the attention, and the love that you are craving. Therefore, skirt.
Yes.
Because you can literally be with someone else who wants to give you that time and that wants to commit to you.
I did, and sometimes it could be an excuse too.
Exactly.
Like again, it could go back to being committed to someone else, just wanting to be single, is talking to multiple people, and
Yeah.
doesn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
It can mean so many different things, or
Exactly.
maybe he just got a relationship, he's still hurt from the past.
Mhm.
I have my boyfriend's best friend, he just got out of a relationship and he's still, he's still hurt about it.
Yeah,
so, and he doesn't want to
absolutely.
commit right now is really meaning because he's still hurt from the past.
Mhm.
So I think it could mean so many different things.
Absolutely.
But definitely be careful. If a guy does say that, that can be a red flag.
And if you
So-
only want sex,
Red flag.
sis, run.
Run.
Run,
even though us women even want to do it in our back of our head, we want to sleep with him, but honestly, it's sometimes just not even worth it because we are so emotional that it could definitely hurt us afterwards.
Absolutely. And you don't want
Guys
to
are so easily to just, I
Yeah.
didn't even do anything.
And remember, like I touched on yesterday, we give up parts and parts and parts of ourselves. So be
Yeah.
careful who you give yourself to, because you
Yeah.
are valuable, you are beautiful, you
Yeah.
do matter, your feelings matter, your standards matter.
Yes.
So let's keep those standards high. How many dates does it take to know if there's real potential? Now, for me, I'm not gonna lie. Roger and I hung out in LA one day, all day, and I knew, like, wow, I really,
Yeah.
really like it. And that was one date. That was literally
Yeah.
not even a date. We were literally just chilling, being ourselves, and exploring.
So I think I wouldn't say how many dates. Like I believe it could be the first.
It could be if the energy is right
And the good time,
and
yeah.
everything's just right. Shoot.
But even though for those girls out there that maybe the first one they not sure, but it's like they really do like him, but then they don't know.
Right.
Give it a couple more
Yeah.
dates. Give it time. Don't just
Be so quick to give up. Too.
right. Just maybe figure out on the next 1, 2, or 3 and find out.
Yeah.
All those areas that you are questioning about. So
Because that red flags. And just to
Yes.
piggyback off of what Cheech said, like, sometimes it does take time ultimately to really get to know someone always. And so you may not know at the first date or the second or the third date, but if you see red flags, ladies, like, he's highly aggressive and, calls you out of your name, or, his ex keeps calling, or
yeah, I think once you take time, you start finding out all this stuff.
yeah, and don't ignore that stuff, ladies. Don't turn a blind eye to it and say,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
he's probably... Don't make excuses for anyone. I am a firm believer in the quote that if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
And they do always in the beginning.
Yes.
Like, people, like, they are who they are in the beginning.
Right.
You just have to
really pay attention. And don't
get yourself in
feel with your heart, but think with your head logically. Does this make sense?
Right.
And if it doesn't, peace.
If a guy really wants to put effort into the relationship,
absolutely,
he won't be texting you at 1 o'clock in the morning saying,
hey, come over. If he's only texting you after 8 o'clock, sis, because this is what my dad used to tell me. He said, ain't nothing holy coming after 8 o'clock, baby.
Right.
Okay? Nothing. Yeah. I mean, if he's... Most people genuinely go to dinner between 7 and 8. Yeah. So if anything after that, you haven't talked to him all day, and he's hitting you up on some, hey, big head, what you doing? Want to come over? Your answer should be like...
red flag.
Nope.
No, just say no. And I hate when people are, oh, I'm too busy, I couldn't text you all day. One quick little sentence of...
Because you've been on the gram all day, baby. You've been posting stories all
day.
For
that social media.
You be double tapping, but you didn't have just one moment to text me, good morning, hope you have a great day today.
Again, red flag.
Skirt.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah. Here's another one. Should you really stay friends after the relationship is over? To be honest, no. I mean, what I think.
Yeah.
I am not friends with none of my exes.
Right.
And not because they're bad people, not because it's just out of the respect of first of all, my current boyfriend, and even if I wasn't even with my boyfriend, for myself, I just think it's better to move on. I mean, the past is the past for a reason.
Right.
Let me move on. Let me keep going, right?
I would for sure have to, I really agree with that too. I feel like, what does a friend mean? I feel like when you are with someone, you know, they were your boyfriend or your girlfriend at the time, and, you know, there's so many boundaries that are ultimately broken when you become, you know, sexually involved or just involved with somebody romantically, that just being friends sometimes is not possible for some people.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that hint of, you know, romantic feeling attached, and I think for the sake, and that's really just depends on you. I feel like at the end of the day, you really got to ask yourself, can I be friends with this person? Can I genuinely live my daily life and have someone else be in my life and then have this person be a component?
Yes.
Because if the answer is no, just lovingly move on.
That's why, I just keep...
I don't condone having beef. I don't condone, like, wishing ill on anyone. So just wish them the best and say peace. I wish you the best.
Because friends is, the meaning of friends is communicating with them, talking to them.
Connecting with them,
hanging out, or
catching up,
and I just don't feel the need to do that. I feel like
agreed.
I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation.
No, or the person I'm dating at that.
Awkward. Should you be okay if your new boyfriend is still friends with his ex? Okay. Well, after what we just talked about.
Now there's gonna be some of my booze exes who might be watching this and may be like,
me too.
And honestly, again, it goes back to you. I mean, can you genuinely just be friends with your ex? I mean, if he could be friends with you, but you can't be friends with him, then you got to be real with yourself and be like, you know what? I want the person that I was dating to be happy. I see he's dating someone else. Yeah. I should let them be happy. Because if you're not letting us be happy, sis, that just kind of shows that you're not really happy with yourself, ultimately.
Or maybe still have feelings for him.
Yeah, and if that's
guys don't catch on this stuff. So
really
this question is, if a few guys were in this room right now, they'll say, I mean, I talked to my ex. Yeah,
whatever,
they don't see that. They don't see that, especially when they're in a relationship.
Yeah,
because they don't know what us girls, our intention is sometimes, especially when it comes to as an ex. Like, I know if I was to get, talk to my ex, let's just say, and I'm not in a relationship, it's one in a blue moon, I'm pretty sure we'll probably talk about something we've done when we were together, or something
Yeah.
that's probably going to affect the girlfriend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And that won't be fair. So
It's just not. And it doesn't make the person you're dating currently feel like they're being valued.
right, it could be a man and or
yeah,
woman.
he can feel like, oh, well, why are you still reaching out to your ex? Is what you have currently not good enough?
Right.
Is what you have right now not making you happy? So you have to consider all sides of the story before you just think that it's okay.
And again, it's out of the respect of your relationship.
Absolutely.
He should respect the fact that what we're in here is we're here together, and the
Absolutely.
ex should too. I mean, she's an ex for a reason, I feel like.
Thank you.
And sometimes you break up, yeah, on good tensions, or on good
good terms.
but it doesn't help what he currently is going
Trying
for.
to build.
And he can probably just say, well, we're just talking, we're not doing anything, like.
Right.
So, because they don't see that, and it's like, you can't blame your boyfriend for it, but you just have to have them understand that
Hey.
it's making me feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
number one.
Right.
Why does she doesn't even know me, she's probably doesn't even care about me, she cares
No.
about you, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
She's not putting my feelings into consideration.
Yeah.
So
that's a no.
no.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and thank you, Summer, for being here
I loved
to
being able to
be a
talk
part of this
and
conversation
just give my
and this
perspective.
topic.
Yes.
Make sure you leave comments below or message me on any additional topics you want me to talk about in the future, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Summer.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. It's honestly been a pleasure to just sit and just talk about things that are genuinely very hard to talk about. I know being vulnerable at times and being honest about these issues isn't easy, but cheers to more love and cheers to more self-growth and doing things that make us happy.